Well, congratulations on announcing this challenge. Are you excited about it?
Well, I am actually, and thank you for your congratulations. Yes, I think you said it. I'm creating a news for you.
Yes, you're certainly doing that.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I know that you're a big fan of the Premier League in England.
Exactly.
And the big cry there this weekend and all weekends past is for technology. I think most people would suggest at the moment it's coming far too slowly.
Yeah. Well, I think I understand the both side positions. You know, those who are conservatives, they want to keep the match and the law of the game, the enforcement of the law of the game as it is maybe tens of years back, and those who can be considered liberal a little bit. They want to use all the available technology for them in the matches. I am, in this point, I'm actually very much liberal. I would like to see the goal technology implemented in our matches. I would say now the technology is helping us actually to achieve more fair decisions. And the other thing, of course, you know, I understand it, is that, you know, we can help the referees who are human. Referees today are checked and controlled by tens of cameras, you know, in each matches, where, you know, the cameras can find each and every single mistakes, you know, where it's just impossible for a referee to witness it. So by introducing the technology, I believe we are making the referee in a fair competition with the, you know, the cameras and the other technology. So I think, you know, we should proceed further and speed up.
And speed up. So under a presidency of yours, as opposed to what has gone before, you would speed up getting to the point where, say, we'd be able to see in the Premier League in England goal line technology?
I will definitely do that.
And how quickly, under your presidency, would you like to bring it in? Because, of course, they're retesting now. Presumably you would want to speed up the retesting.
Yeah.
And it would go to the IFAB, as I understand it,
Exactly.
next year.
Yeah.
How quickly would you like to see it introduced into top-level football?
From my side, I will push it. You know, I'll push for it as quickly as possible. But of course, you know, you have to take in your consideration also the other people's views. For, you know, we need a majority to decide such things. You know.
Yes.
And I will appeal to all parties to be, you know, responding actually to the modern football, how fast it is, how technologized it is. So I would like to appeal to them to understand this.
But Sepp Blatter said a couple of weeks ago at the IFAB meeting that possibly 2014, if he's convinced of the arguments by then, the 2014 World Cup could have goal line technology. Would you like to see it at top level football before 2014?
I cannot judge actually, but if this is possible in 2014, we have waited long actually. I don't see the problem to wait until 2014. This is only 3 years from today, you know. If we completed successfully, you know, the test matches, and you know, I think 2014 is not far away.
But generally, you would try to speed up
Exactly.
the process. Also, what they're talking about at the moment is just goal line technology. And I don't know if you will have seen it, but there was an incident yesterday in the Premier League, for instance, where there was an argument over whether an incident happened in the penalty area, the referee gave a penalty, or outside of the penalty area. Would you like to see an expansion of the idea of technology, not just goal line technology, but elsewhere on the pitch to help the referees as well, not just goal line?
No, not just the goal line actually. I'm also convinced with using another assistance referee behind the goals, which has been tested in the AFC's competitions, and I believe has been tested also within UEFA's competitions, and the result was very positive. I know that in our experiment in AFC, the linesman behind the goal has discovered so many mistakes, which is absolutely difficult to the referee to give fair judgment, you know, because usually the referee is coming from behind, so he cannot see what is happening in front of the attackers and these things. But that man who is behind the goal, yes, can see very easy, you know, what is happening.
And we know that those referees will be introduced in the European Championships of next year.
As experimental still, yes.
Yes,
But I
yes.
think, from my point of view, this fifth officials, I believe that it can be implemented very soon.
Very soon.
Very soon.
Could we, for instance, see that in the Premier League? I talk, of course, from an English perspective, but in the Premier League, sooner than the European Championships next year.
Well, would England will ask for from the board, exemption or excuse or whatever to use it. I think they have to take the permission from the board in the first instance.
Yes. But what about extra technology?
Well, it is, also let us put it that way. We cannot actually transform the game as a technology, as a PlayStation or something. Yes. Like that. We would like to see still, the human feelings. Maybe sometimes people say also the human errors and mistakes is part of the game. We can argue before, we can argue after. So I actually don't appreciate that, to transform the game completely into technology.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So the use of television replay by the former officials.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult actually. Yeah.
Do you remember the arguments that we had ourselves about something called the 39th game in the Premier League, and playing Premier League games abroad? I just wonder, as someone who loves the Premier League,
yeah,
we know that, whether you would support that, because of course at the time Sepp Blatter didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't see any need to play Premier League games abroad.
Yeah.
Would you be more accommodating?
Actually, myself, I was opposing the idea when first it has established. But anyhow, the idea is not anymore now on the table. They have the Premier League has withdrawn that proposal. I was against it from the point that if there is any matches to be played outside, I believe the English were should be given the priority to see it, not to design a game for Asia or for Africa. But of course, from the continent where I am coming, the love for the Premier League is actually extraordinary. And people from within my continent saying, why you don't want us to see those matches to be played in Asia. So I try to tell them, please do focus also on your football, develop your football. So you will not needing outside football. But the love and passion for the advanced football in our continent is quite a huge. So now today I am between.
Yes.
This way or that way, actually.
So
but I'm happy it is not on the table.
Yes.
Yeah.
But your door might be open if the suggestion came back. Your door might be open to that suggestion.
Of course. I spoke to the officials in Premier League, and I tell them, listen, to go and play game and collect whatever you can collect from take gas money or TV revenues and leave. That's not going to be the idea which we are going to support. But we would like to see part of this revenue from the game left in that country where you played.
Right.
That you need to help the leagues of that country. You need to help the clubs of those countries, players of those countries. Please do something. Leave a legacy behind you when you are playing in Asia or in another country. So, and this is actually the understanding today.
So if Richard Scudamore was to come to you, if you were the new president of FIFA, and suggest that idea again, you would open the door to it at least.
I can't promise you one thing. I can't promise you that all the new ideas is going to be fairly discussed within the board which I am proposing to establish, and I will not prevent anybody to come with his opinion, with his idea, to be discussed. And I presume that either I myself or they themselves, as Premier League, accept the decision of the majority, no matter what.
Yes. You mentioned extending, in effect, the executive committee as we know it. At the moment, it's got 22 members on.
23 plus president.
23. I think you're thinking of extending it to beyond 40, aren't you?
40 plus president.
Is that you reacting to the criticism that too much power is in too few hands at FIFA at the moment?
Yeah, exactly. And actually, this is actually where I can see. We are creating in FIFA the argument or encourage the rumors that FIFA is corrupted, FIFA do that, FIFA do this. I believe I said it in my declaration. I said FIFA is not corrupted. In any scale I don't see it as corrupted, but it's fact. I mean, with 13 people can decide anything, and because you need only out from 24 members, you need 13 votes to pass the majority. And with these 13 members, you can decide anything, absolutely anything, concerning the football, which can, touch the feelings of millions and millions and tens of millions, hundreds of millions of the world. So yes, by expanding that, maybe, you need to convince people more, and also you need actually those professionals who are, within this sport to give their fair opinions. So this is actually among so many things which I cannot talk about this today, but maybe in the future I can explain it more. We need to expand the FIFA.
And expand to how many people?
To additional 17. Now we are 23 plus 1. I want to add 17 more members.
So what, 24 plus 17?
It was 41.
41, yes.
And I want to avoid the casting vote, automatic casting vote for the president as it is today. So president will be only one voter.
And I have to be careful what I say here, of course, because Qatar won the right to stage 2022. But do you think that the bidding process for for the 2 World Cups that were awarded in December, do you think it was dysfunctional?
No, this is one part why I'm proposing another committee, which is the transparency committee. We need to put criteria in place. Qatar, according to the actual procedures, rules, and regulation, has absolutely the right to bid and to contest and to win. There is no whatsoever criteria. Nobody told that this country or that country has to be in July 20 degrees. Nobody said that that country has to be million kilometers, square kilometer size. Nobody said that it has to be 100 million population. Nobody. There is no criteria whatsoever. We as Qatar, I'm talking now as Qatarian, we as Qatar bid according to the regulation which exists.
Yes. But England's argument is that if it had known that FIFA was intending to take the World Cup to new territories, then it wouldn't have bid at all. And that's why I ask on the general issue of whether actually it's dysfunctional.
Did we meant to take the game to new countries? This is new to me.
Right.
I personally, as a member from the executive committee of FIFA, never discussed within FIFA that the 2018 to 2022 must be taken to new countries. This wasn't the criteria at all.
Right. And in terms of the ethics, the England complaint afterwards was, of course, that I think our chief executive was told that the media killed your bid. Do you think there is something you can do as the president to make sure that the body is seen as being more ethical, that it can take criticism but make decisions without taking that criticism on board in a negative way?
Yeah, this is actually why again I am proposing the transparent committee. The transparent committee is going to give opinion before the act is taking place, not after. It's going to be, pre-acting. So if such decision or rules or regulation can be implemented in this way or not. The ethics committee's role is coming only after the act has taken place, So I mean, they are checking what happened or not happened. So this is before happening. I am proposing this transparency.
In terms of transparency, would you, for instance, be happy for us to know exactly who voted what? Because, of course, one of the complaints...
Frankly speaking, yes, but this is my opinion.
Right.
I don't see any problem, but I hope now you are not jeopardizing my candidacy, and I will lose it before I start. No, frankly speaking, I'm not hesitant. Even if I lost, this, I'm not hesitant. No, why shouldn't we show ourselves, expose ourselves when we are voting? Why we are hesitant?
Yes, because of course our problem was that Jack Warner said to Prince William that he would vote for England, and of course he didn't.
Well,
And
you don't know that, and
right.
I believe if Jack said so, he did.
Right. But transparency, complete
Yes,
transparency.
the transparency will leave him without any doubt.
Yes.
Yeah.
What can you do for England as the FIFA president? Because of course we're now in a situation where the earliest that we could stage a World Cup now is 2030. And it will be 64 years since the last. A country like England.
Yeah, all right. I think there is nothing can be done in that respect. But I know that England did a lot for the football. Actually, they created the game. They promoted the game to the way we are seeing it today. I think England deserve to host the World Cup, but this is also the case with most of the countries, whether they are in Europe or outside Europe. Every country, I think, have the same right.
Yeah, the English FA, which clearly there's been a difficulty between the FA and FIFA, it would appear. Do you expect it to vote this time round, as opposed to Sepp Blatter? And can we expect to see relations improve between FIFA and the FA under a presidency of yours?
Frankly speaking, I don't want to take the advantage between the differences between the FA and FIFA today. I mean, I wish that if the FA is decided to support me in my endeavor, they support my principles and they support my
do they support you? Have they told you that they will support you, your candidacy?
No, officially I haven't heard anything.
Will you speak to David Bernstein, the new chairman of the FA? Have you spoken to him?
No, I haven't. I haven't. We exchanged letters only of congratulations, something like that. Yes. But naturally, the England from the first phase, I should visit also.
You shall visit.
Yeah.
When will you visit England?
I presume as early, maybe April, first week of April. I still haven't. I have to write to them actually. I don't have any.
Yes.
Anything.
But you would hope maybe to be able to meet with David Bernstein and others in the first week of April and convince them.
Yes, of course.
And
I have to market myself. I have to market.
What will you say to them? What's the top of the list?
Well, I will say this is my manifesto. This is what I'm trying to do for people. I know that you are not happy today with FIFA, but I'm not taking that as advantage today. But I hope that I am a person who can make a change.
And how will you separate yourself from Sepp Blatter?
From what sense? Blatter will remain my ex-president if I am president.
In the sense that you should vote for me because I'll do this, and Mr. Blatter won't.
Let me make it very clear. I think Blatter contributed a lot towards the development of the game. He did a great job. But as far as I say today, the change is needed because Mr. Blatter has stayed long time actually, and I don't know whether longer he stay longer he can do anything, because in my opinion, in this last 3-4 years, maybe there is very little has been happened towards the game, and there are a lot of has happened towards the image of FIFA, which wasn't actually positive. I myself spoke to Mr. Blatter, and they're speaking to him through you today.
Yes.
I think there must be sometimes enough, and I just would like to see some I think 13 years as a president, 22 years as general secretary, with the full power of FIFA. It is totally 35 years or 36 years of working in FIFA, serving in FIFA. I think that's enough.
Right. When you visit the English FA and David Bernstein, of course, I think that English football club football is celebrated right around the world, as you've spelled out in terms of the Premier League. But I think there is a feeling, certainly in our country, maybe beyond, that it's to the detriment of the international side. Yeah. Our international side has suffered, perhaps because of the success of club football. Is that something that you'll want to talk to the FA about? Is that a concern of yours?
Yes, I actually would like to talk more about with the Premier Leagues, and its members about this, because we must understand each other, like member association and leagues and the clubs, and we must come to a dialogue. We must see the need of a nation, and we, the national association, must see the need of the club. I talked to my colleagues in the executive committee last time. I told them, listen, I prefer that we don't do something away from the clubs or the leagues, because the clubs, those are the people who are playing the game every week and every day. Our World Cup competition is every 4 years. UEFA's competition is every 4 years. All the other competitions are 4 years. But the clubs competition, which is every day. So we should always talk to them. You know, I am very much optimistic that establishing the dialogue and the debate friendly, I think we can come to a lot of understanding. We can avoid a lot of misunderstanding today.
Yeah, I mean, what can I get from you? Because obviously, you know, I think I understand some of the problems, but I just want to hear it from you, and I'm sure that the viewers would like to hear it from you. What you might be able to do to correct the balance between club football and international football, particularly I think in England. Are there things that you would like to say to the FA and also to the Premier League about correcting that balance?
Yeah. First of all, I think we should allow in the calendar more days for the friendly matches and official competitions for the national associations, because also without these matches the national association will be broken. I mean, financially will be broken. I mean, national association have to play so many matches to to generate revenue. This is number one. Number two, especially when it comes to the UEFA's competition, as far as you're concerned, your competition or the World Cup competition, naturally the national association, national players have to be under the disposal of the member associations for a while, for such a period, to adapt themselves to with each other, with their technical staff, so they can produce a better performance in the competition. Yes, I understand that there will be a compensation to be made to the clubs, because you are recruiting the services of their players. Here, where I also advise that FIFA has to come forward in terms of the World Cup, has to come forward and distribute some of the revenues has generated for World Cup to to help the national association to use the services of the clubs players. So there is a lot of things. I think one can come after other, but all has to come within what you call the place or platform where we discuss. I know that there is issues that need to be discussed.
Yeah, but there's a concern generally in FIFA that the club game is very powerful in England to the detriment of the international side, the England side. There's a concern there.
Well, maybe there's not concern only concerning the English football, but it is maybe everywhere, where the players of the national teams cannot have sufficient time to train with their trainer and their colleagues who are coming from different clubs, for a certain time. This is understood, but how we can resolve it amicably.
And you think that revenue can go back to the clubs? Perhaps?
Not the revenue, no. I'm saying that the clubs must be also, or shall be, compensated fairly. I'm not saying that we take the revenue from the World Cup and give it to the clubs and kill the game. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying now, if there is nothing to be today, there must be a budget, and the players not only staying. Playing in England, they are playing all over the world. They're right in Brazil.
There would still be huge resistance from the clubs, wouldn't there, to releasing their players for more friendlies, which already they complain about the number of friendlies there are at the moment.
Okay, why don't we sit and discuss? I mean, did we sat with the club?
Yeah.
Did the clubs were part of our decisions? All this has to come in. In the scene, I'm willing to give everybody the chance and the right to speak, but I'm also appealing to everybody that the minority has to listen to the voice of the majority. Otherwise, we'll never come.
But it is an issue of your. It would be an issue of your presidency that international football has to be taken every bit as seriously as club football.
No, I mean as serious as club football. I'm saying that the club football, and I have to repeat myself here 100 times. The club's football. These are this is the football which making our football so popular and alive, because this is the clubs are playing every day. The clubs, can every. So can you tell me now, for example, the National Association or national team of England, when did they play last match and when they are going to play next match? They can't. They will take months. But who is playing every day? Who is the fan seeing and watching every day? It is the club's competition and the club's players. So I'm saying the balance has to be created, and I'm appealing actually that the clubs must know and understand the need for the member association to have the players between time to time, and also I need from the member association to understand that without the clubs there is no football, whether we like it or we don't like it.
One final question. I know I'm being hurried from behind, but there is a huge row brewing in England, Britain if you like, about the Olympic team and the use of players from the national associations of Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. They're resistant to it, very resistant to it. And Sepp Blatter has given his word that actually those associations won't be affected by giving players to a British Olympic team. Would you urge those national associations to get behind this British Olympic team and send their players and not to argue?
No, I'm not the president. I can ask him this.
if you are, would you urge them, look, there's no problem about your membership, those players should play in a British Olympic team?
Well, I actually cannot talk more than what I have talked before. I'm not going to take unilateral decision. I mean, decisions have to come over a debate, and the best should be implemented. I will create this debate, and I will fairly, healthily, and everybody was going to express their views, and I hope that the understanding between the different stakeholders and the football communities will take place and will prevail.
Might that be a subject that you raise with David Bernstein in early April?
Now, no, of course, because there is no point. Everybody is going to try to commit me for a promise, and I'm just going to give promises which I will not be fulfilled. I cannot be fulfilling.
That's a very honest answer. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for allowing us to come and interview.